Hello? Oop, I kind of just dropped the capture card right in there, but you know what, that's alright. Okay, welcome back. I'm Shami. You can call me Shami, and this is Bloodborne Round 2. If there's any, any concerns about volume or anything like that, definitely, well, like I said, let me know. But, so last time we left off, just as a quick recap, we handled a bunch of stuff, and which included Gascoigne. We took out Gascoigne, we took out Cleric Beast, and we ripped the Bloodstarved Beast apart. And that was pretty easy, because Arcane's really strong. So let's hop back in. So for today, I think going probably about as long as last time, an hour or two, would be a nice little treat. I think that's a good amount because I've actually been really wanting to play Bloodborne again, but every time I think about it, I'm like, well, I should save that for the stream. So I've been kind of itching to get back to it. But also, Terraria came out, and that's been kind of dominating my life a little bit, but that's okay. As for what I did in between streams, just to kind of make sure everybody's, aware and everything's above board. So you can see that I'm using a cane right now. I bought it. You can just buy it at the store over here. And the cane's great. I think somebody was talking about being interested in the cane and what it's capable of, basically. And I figured I could just kind of start showing that off today. But you can just buy the cane right here. I mean, I can't right now because I don't have the currency required, but there's nothing wrong with that. Not even very expensive. What I also did was I made sure to get some upgrade materials. So this is now +3. In general, and getting upgrade materials is really easy. Like there's those like wolf guys before the Bloodstarved Beast, the last boss I fought last time, that you can just kill all in a row, and it's really easy to kill them, especially with a +3 weapon or like a saw spear, and they all drop blood shards. So this was really nothing special. Something I also did, which I probably won't do more of, but I also did a 1 chalice dungeon, and this chalice dungeon is not that tricky. I could show what's off in here, but I think that would take a little bit too much time. And what I really did here was basically get a fire gem. At the bottom, you can get a fire gem. From the final boss, who's a big fire dog. He's a raging asshole, but we'll experience that later, perhaps. But basically, a fire gem means this weapon now does fire damage. You can see, like, my saw spear, the numbers are all blue. The blue numbers, show off physical attack and things like that. And this does physical damage. That doesn't scale with Arcane at all. It's useful, but this is going to be for threats that don't need fire damage to kill or are resistant to fire damage. Whereas the threaded cane here does basically only fire damage. You can see the +5 physical attack, but that's really not anything. That's just there. So, but you can also see something that's interesting is that it only does fire damage. Like the leftmost number is the 99. That means that's like the base damage of the weapon. All of the damage of the weapon has been transformed into fire because of the fire attack gem. This that's useful because fire, arcane, and bolt, etc. all scale with arcane, and I have a shitload of arcane, so I'm real strong. Oh, but all the like blood echoes that I gained from that, I didn't actually upgrade my stats at all because I think that would be a little unfair. I would say that this cane, doing it off stream, getting the fire gem for this off stream, that's kind of bordering on unfair. So I'm not going to do that anymore. It's just going to be I'm playing pretty much straight through. So let me see. The couple of things we actually want to do, some cleanup, is we want to go to Central Yharnam because there's a very specific thing that I want to get here. I think the first guy I talked to. Yeah, the first guy I talked to was this guy in the behind a metal window, or a metal grated window, and he's nice. He kind of tells you what to do, where to go, things like that. But it's important to talk to him again, especially for a run like this, because he's got some new things for us. Cough, cough, hack.
You needn't concern yourself with me. I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this...
Yes. So this is an amazing, amazing weapon.
I made no use of it, but perhaps you. What afflicted me was incurable, but this time gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate, unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human.
Well, that was an interesting line. I mean, obviously, there's a couple of cases of people transforming into beasts. We saw that with, well, really, really, really clearly, obviously, with Gascoigne, but it's a little more obvious there. Or, like, there's more reference to it. It's not just Gascoigne, it's not just hunters, it's also the people that are hiding out behind the windows. They've blocked themselves in, hoping to, you know, keep themselves safe, but how safe are they really? Well, apparently not very. But Gilbert, and that's that guy's name, is an interesting case because he's kind of like us. He's just a foreigner that, from foreign lands, came to Yharnam, looking for answers, looking for a cure to his affliction, basically. And it didn't really work out that great for him. Ow. But he's still glad he came, you know, I guess. Oh, so this is an example of, you know, the types of damage that kind of permeate the game, but I was, even though, oh, hold on, let me handle this dog. Hello. Alright, dog has nothing he wants to do with me. Anyway, I do lots of fire damage, even though, you know, like, no, I guess that is pretty much around it, the amount of damage that's displayed. Well, never mind. So, this old lady did talk to us before, demanding safe passage to a safe haven, and she's still kind of ornery, but we do want to save her because I think it's interesting to save everybody and also show off their kind of descent into madness as the world gets crazier and crazier. Now you can see I have two options here. This is important. We're going to send her to Wheaton Chapel, but the Osefka Clinic is necessary in order to send all of the NPCs to this place. Okay, well, maybe not all of them. You'll see eventually. Jeez, she's nice. And chop chop I will. Don't worry, lady. Yeah, fortunately I'm pretty good at what I do, so this hunt will be over in a blink of an eye. Don't worry about a thing. Oh, he kind of just shot straight up a little bit there. That's a little odd. All right, off we go. So that's the only thing I really wanted to do here. Well, those two things. Get the flame sprayer, and I'm going to be upgrading it because I have a bunch of upgrade materials that I farmed because I know I'm going to be getting this item, and to get the old lady into a safe space. And we're going to see where she ends up and how she feels about us in just a moment. But let me go upgrade. Let's use 2. Why not? Upgrading's not expensive, so this should be more than enough. Alright, flame sprayer. So this is kind of an interesting position to be in because I do want to parry sometimes, but the Hunter's Horde is cool. So I guess I'll just have 3 fire weapons. Yeah, why not? There are worse things. Alright, so we're going to go to Cathedral Ward, and that's really a major hub of the game, basically. Not only is it, you know, Wheaton Chapel, although it doesn't sound like it based on the teleport location being Cathedral Ward, but this is where we're going to end up going several times. and sometimes in ways you might not expect. Let's see. So this guy is the... I mean, I skipped through the text last time because I was just kind of going fast. But he basically asked us, hey, if you got any survivors, you know, send them my way. I got a bunch of incense around here. It's going to take care of everything. Don't you worry about a damn thing. Send them here.
Oh, the hunter. Thank you. So that old girl, you told her about this place, right? Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still, I'd rather see her alive anyhow.
And he gives us a nice little emote. Triumph is cute. And especially cute when you imagine him doing it. Yeah! Just a little fist pump. Yes! Anyway, here's the old lady. She's as nice as you might expect.
I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This old mess that Yarnum's in, it's all your fault. You put it to the outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know you type.
So she's really happy to see us and very thankful we rescued her, and I'm, you know, great. No problem, lady. Anytime. Alright. Even though some enemies aren't really that weak to fire, like those enemies have, I think, above average defense to fire. I've put all of my attack or damage in there, so... Oh, shit. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, well. I guess the death counter is going up a little sooner than I expected. Anyway. What I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by being killed was... This, even for enemies that are pretty resistant to fire, or more resistant to fire than physical damage, I'm still going to be hitting them with fire damage, because that's where all my damage is. It'll make up for it, even through the resistance. So, there, I think, is a good example of how not to use the cane. Against single enemies, you know, you can whip stuff, and that's fine. You just kind of slice them back and forth along the blade of the cane, I guess. But when it comes to enemies, like groups of enemies rather, you want to be a little more patient. You can use the whip mode and get a lot of damage done just by whipping. From quite a ways away too. Nice. Alright. Oh, I didn't actually want to come this way yet. That's after I get the shortcut. Well, now I'm kind of like trying to remember exactly where I was. Oh, is she here? That lady we spoke to before, Aileen, the crow lady that gave us the shake-off cape, she is not here, so we don't have to worry about that yet. So, I want... What have I done? Oh, I have too much insight. So after a certain amount of insight, which is the second number on the top right, the 18, certain enemies get stronger. You can see his lantern. I mean, he's going to disappear in a second. Or maybe not. His lantern, it used to be not full of eyeballs, but let's see if I can drag him to a better place. Oh, he just lost it. Oh, yeah, but you can see that he's got a lantern full of eyes now, and he's got this homing attack, which sucks. Or is a little tougher to deal with, let's say. Okay, great. And after philandering here for a second, showing off some slightly new content, I remembered where I'm supposed to go. So this side door is actually unlocked after you kill Bloodstar Beast, and there's a secret wall here. Yeah, let's get that now. This isn't all that useful yet, but I might as well grab it. But going up here is progress. It's also a little bit out of the way and a little kind of not obvious, I think. I mean, I missed it, and I played this game who knows how many hours. Okay, so we got a rune. A hunter rune is something we can't use yet, but I will show off when we get the chance. Just crack my knees in half a little bit here. Stab my leg full of blood. I'm right as rain. And let's keep moving. Alright. Let's send this down just in case. Because there is a particular thing that I want to do that might result in my death. I'm not very consistent at it. There's, I mean, Bloodborne and Souls games are kind of infamous for having these kind of like, you're up in very high places, and sometimes you're up on rafters and have to drop down and stuff. What's coming up is one of those instances. Oh, I missed. Oh god, I got shot from up high. Well, we'll pay him back. Interestingly, even though I'm doing fire damage and there's bonus fire damage against beasts, these guys, I'm pretty sure, are not flagged as beasts yet. They are beast-like, but they're not beasts. So, the more beastly guys, you know, the ones that are just like holding like gigantic rakes, or just pulling a piece of like fence out of the ground and just swinging it around, or like a lamppost or something. Those guys are beastly, and fire damage, there will be bonus fire damage on them. And if I use the serrated form of the, you know, the whip form of the cane, I'll do even more bonus damage. So the cane is nice because, you know, you have access to both this kind of fast hitting, very dexterous, you know, like swing back and forth, and the crowd control basically with the whip form. Don't shoot him. Oh, ow. I thought he had a blunderbuss, not a machine gun. Either way, he's gone. Oh, hello. You're a little closer than I expected. Stop. See, this would be a great instance, like a great reason to use... Woo! That's always the third one. Or the second one that gets me. Third one is usually what kills me, but I saw it coming that time. These guys are really easy to parry. They've got a bunch of attacks that have pretty big wind-up. So, oh, no, not today. That guy, he's got a gigantic rifle, and it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, so you do not want to get shot by him. Oh. First door. Here we go. More jerks. So rude. This one's got fire. Hey, that's my weapon. I should have set him on fire with the same thing, you know, for poetic justice. Yeah, let's call it that. We've got a special little item here, Radiant Sword Badge. That's useful probably to show off some things later, but not yet. Here we can't go, not until later. This is a much later, actually. That's a special place. And easy to forget about. It's completely optional. You don't need to go there at all. But if you do, there's some goodies, and we'll be getting those goodies. But that's later. Big boy. Alright, let's see. So now that I'm on the ground layer, I actually want to circle back around this way because there is one of those guys that drops good stuff. So we got 2 twin bloodstone shards. Now, I don't think I have any on hand. Oh, I do. I have 21. I have a lot of them, as it turns out. These are the rank 1, like from 1 to 3, and this is from 4 to 6. But I need more in order to actually do anything with them. That's just kind of proving they exist here. Okay. So where we're at, this is where I'm probably going to die once. So you see these three ropes that kind of drop here? There's a platform down there. It's a little small, and it really hurts when you land there, but I need to land there. And I always forget if I just walk off or run off, and I'm pretty sure it's run off, and I think I need to be a little closer. But you also need to be careful, because you can see that little plank where my torch is kind of overlapping. That can get in the way too. this is a secret area, so it makes sense that it's kind of hidden this way, but it's also kind of a drag. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, not bad. That was actually pretty easy. Buffering? Uh-oh. Stream okay? Well, I hope so. Do I have any... Oh, I'm dropping a lot of frames. I'm gonna pause real fast. We're gonna go to the loading screen. I have a whole overlay for this. I'm gonna put the song on. Hold on. Okay. So we're back. And, So, I guess for the stream, you know, hopefully I'm not going to be dropping any more frames. I'm seeing no dropped frames. I'm continuing to record. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, oh my god, I dropped 1/5 of my frames. Holy crap. Yes, welcome to the stream. And for reference, the big boy, I actually was just looking in the fancy moderation window for Twitch TV for like streamers. So I just had seen that message instead of my OBS, my streaming program. But yeah, this tower's cool. Or well, maybe not this tower. The exterior of this tower is pretty sick, but we're in the tower now. This is a secret area, and okay, double check my frames. We're still good. All right, so we are at the abandoned old workshop, which looks, you know, not immediately familiar, but it's gonna look a little more familiar in a second. So there's no doll here. There are no gravestones. Things are very strange. We got the workshop. There's no Gairman, or no guy in a wheelchair, I should say. And a couple of special little items. So, let's grab this. And let's grab this. This is a very special item, and we'll talk about that later. And last but not least, we have a doll that's been abandoned. Now, isn't that strange? Oh, and a lantern, which I think is just kind of like a metagame thing. For people that can respawn after dying, like me, the main character, they're you know, they can see those things, but probably nobody else. We also get doll clothes, which is cool, I guess. I can wear them, but their defense is terrible. So just for a little bit, because I'm cocky, and why not? Why not have a higher death count? I can play as the doll for a little bit, or at least I can dress up as the doll. Which is interesting, because I'm like, the characters in Bloodborne are very tall, very skinny, but the doll is like 9 feet tall. It's crazy tall, and these still fit me, so I guess it's just a smaller size. The doll grew up, you know. Growth spurt. Alright, after just a little bit of tricky dropping around. Okay, not that tricky. This has never happened to me before. Jump? Okay. Woo, we're out. There have been a lot of things that have never happened to me before in this stream. Last stream and in this stream. But you know, it's fine. It makes for interesting gameplay. So I'm being an asshole and I'm just killing this guy right away. He didn't do a damn thing to me. And I probably should have shown off some things, like the fact that he's a little bit different from the other, you know, werewolves. He casts fire magic. And when we kill him, he also, you know, gives us a beast rune. That's nice for later, but for later. And also not for my character, because if you have high Arcane, as it turns out, or high Insight, it's not as worthwhile to, you know, use that kind of rune. But that's advanced mechanics, I guess. So we get some sweaty clothes. I can be Radish Father. That actually sounds way better. Let's be Radish Father. I guess that's a bit of an in-joke. I watched Parasite yesterday, and an ongoing thing was the smell of the poor family. Oh shit! Oh, okay. Well, I dodged it. Dog's not gonna let me talk. I forgot about Dog. Oh boy. You know what? This guy's pretty slow, so I'm just going to switch to Hunter Pistol, and I'm going to parry him. These guys are man catchers, or man snatchers or something, and they're pretty mean. But they're especially mean after you take a chunk of their health, enough to piss them off, and they do that. If they finish doing that, they get really aggressive and they hurt even more. So I'm not gonna let them do it. All right, just clearing out the rest of those guys, the rest of what's going on here. Also, that style of enemy is very important. That buffing guy, the very tall guy in a robe, and I'll be taking. I want to intentionally die to one of them later. I'm still gonna count it as a death because, well, it is, but you know, you'll see. And here is where the game gets weird. This is a brain sucker. I'm not going to let him do what he wants to me, but he's a nasty bastard, and he catches a lot of people off guard. And right here, I get a fire blood gemstone. But now that I think about it, let's see. Okay, so I'll have to use a saw spear, and it's not until I get a little bit further. The style of gem I got was a waning gem, so it's like a crescent moon, and only in weapons that allow that slot will let you know, stick those style gems in there. You got a match, and although I do have a fire gem for my cane, it requires it only allows a triangle gem, so I can't stick 2 fire gems into the cane, which is a bit of a shame, but that's alright. That just means switching things up a little bit. So open up this shortcut, and we're gonna go this way. Oh, what was I saying earlier? Oh yeah, Parasite. Parasite is amazing. It's not often that I watch a movie that like kind of has me in the post movie haze for like 24 hours, but Parasite did it. It's been a long time since I've seen a movie that's done that for me. Take care of that guy. Yeah, Parasite was something special. I'm actually really glad it won an Academy Award over all the like the Western titles, I guess. And this is my South Korean side speaking because I'm half Korean, but in some sense that does actually make me very proud. All right, enough dancing. So I have 9,000 blood echoes, but that's okay. I don't really mind. I'm just gonna get pasted by this guy because he's another one of those guys, and it's important to die to one of them. And since the game does say I died, even if something is a little bit different about this death, I mean spoilers, I'm gonna count it. So 4 deaths. And here we are, in jail. Yeah, this is a bit of a secret. There are a lot of things I could say because, I mean, I know a bunch about this game. But you don't die normally in all cases. Here's a special case where instead, where a man snatcher or a man catcher, whatever they're called, well, he snatches you. And we are now in an interesting place, and that we're gonna come back to later. And if we come this way, we find someone very special. Just cowering away. And to be fair, if you're in a position like this, in a world like this, and everything's going to shit like this, that's understandable. I think that's a reasonable kind of way to approach things. But, well, let's wear the doll hat. So I bought this Gascoigne garb because, it had this kind of thing on the back, this shawl. And it matches hers. I mean, mine's way more ragged and nasty, but she recognizes it. That's the important bit. And you need to wear this to talk to her.
By your God, the healing church, you've come to save me. Oh.
I always do my best to look fresh.
Dear saint, I have no words to express my relief. You can take this at least.
Alright, she gave me a skull with something glowing coming out of it.
It's sure to please an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much, dear gods.
Alright, so she's happy to be rescued. Or she's not as terrified anymore. She's still praying for her life. But if we continue to talk to her, we get something special. Hey, just like us.
There were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since.
That is pretty terrifying.
So, the hunt is on tonight. Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight. Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in?
Yes, I do. So we can send her to Wheaton Chapel, which is great.
So much.
And we can make the little beggar guy real happy.
I pray for success on your hunt.
Thanks. I don't need it. Let's throttle a triumph. Huh! All right. So we've taken care of her. She's rescued. She only shows up for a very thin slice of time, so it's important to nab her while we can. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. What happens if I send her to other places? Well, the Iosefka Chapel, which is now inhabited by somebody at first that just gave us blood vials and was very nice, very helpful, is now inhabited by somebody who has taken her place and is impersonating her. The community calls her false or fake Iosefka or false Iosefka, I forget. But she's nasty. We'll see what she's up to later today, actually. I do plan to go pay her a visit. And you'll kind of see what's going on. But we don't want to send just anybody over to her, to the clinic, because there's some experimentation going on, and I want to rescue at least some of these people. Oh no, come back here. Pebble. Take this. Huh. Yeah. This way. There's another snatcher behind him, so I really want to make sure to just fight one at a time. They're also they can move surprisingly fast despite, you know, their deliberate lumbering, let's say. So I really want to be careful. That attack kind of just sucks you in, but it doesn't damage you, it just kind of stumbles you. Dangerous in groups, like if there's two of them, but on his own, that's really not so bad. Oops. Ow. Alright, let's not die here. He does an AoE version here. But the important thing is that he just kind of staggers for a while, and he gets pissed after a certain amount of time. But when he does that, he sits still. That's great. Oh. Yeah, this area is a bit hidden away, so... Yeah, not everybody's going to find this. I did activate this. This is fine. If you've gone later in the game, well, I won't say that much. Well, we'll remember this lantern. That's it comes into play later. No. All right. Not quite dead, but I can get him on wake up. Another one taken care of. Sometimes they drop twin bloodstone shards, which would be great, but I guess not today. We get another hunter rune. There's a witch lady waiting in ambush. She's got some sort of like ice cream scoop that she uses to get eyes, and you can kind of see in the pebble in the top left. It has a vaguely eye shape. Maybe her sight's not so good. She just finds stones that look like eyes, and sometimes she finds just eyes. And sometimes she does drop. The reward is literally just eyes. I'm swapping here to a flame sprayer because there are dogs. And the dogs are jerks. So I'm just gonna light them on fire. Stop. Oh, that hurts. Did not want to lock onto that guy. That was very dangerous. Alright, thank you, whip. The whip can also hit through walls. How nice. Alright. I want to be a little careful because of how much damage these guys do. Oh, God. They do enough damage to really make sure you want to be careful about how you approach them, let's say. But no problem. Okay, bloodstone shards. I'm just open a couple of shortcuts that I am keenly aware of, because these are nice shortcuts to have, to say the least. We've got a couple more witches. Let's just take care of them now. They actually lay a little bit of an ambush, kind of down over there. They've got a little bit of a setup. One runs by the door, and you're like, oh, she didn't notice me. And you chase her, and the other one is just lying in wait right behind her and tries to scoop you and grab some eyes. Sometimes she succeeds, sometimes not. Depending on how much life you have. If she got me, I'd be dead. I do not have very much life. It's very small. The first time I played this game, I made sure to rush. I knew a little bit about it, or I played other, you know, Bloodborne games, or Souls games before, games by FromSoft. And I knew to spend a little bit of time getting a bunch of vitality. So I just went to like 20 vitality right away. And the game was kind of tough as a result of that. Because I had to survive a long time, I guess. Alright, so behold a pale blood sky. Well, what does that mean? It's not, that's just a nice sunset. It's kind of gloomy, but what's so weird about that? We'll see later. Alright, pig number 2. This one's dangerous because I get stuck in a small corner here, because I always want to be behind the pig. The pigs charge at you if they're in front too much, and they have like a quick slam attack that I don't want to mess with. But I'm rapidly approaching the whole reason I came this way. And we'll get it soon. I just need to throw these rocks well. So give me a minute. Oh my god, my accuracy. Oh, perfect. No, come back here. Ow. Still want to be careful, because they do hurt. But the pebble's great because, you know, aggroing one dog at a time is way better than handling 2. Or 3, especially. And we're just keeping the threats low at any given time. And that way, we can guarantee our prize. Let's see. So there's this one patrolling on the left, but there's, I think, 2 on the right, actually. One has seen me. Get over here. This takes a little patience. Yes, the rock is incredibly powerful. And underappreciated. Oh, this one came. That's okay. Come over here. What are you doing? Okay. Let's actually hit him. Oh, there are 2 back here. I knew it. Alright. Well, not anymore. All handled. So this is where the rock really comes in handy, because there's a snatcher over there, and he's real mean. So let's not get hit. Oh, that was like right between the dogs. 2. 3. There we go. Get over here. Okay, that's 1. A little higher. Little to the left. That's exactly where I threw it last time. Please hold. I think it's because I've actually angled my TV a little bit. That's kind of towards me. I'm usually much better at this. Oh, I can just lock on, and they didn't notice me. I didn't actually know that. That's nice. Get over here. Oh. Okay, well, I'll handle. And this guy, we can just take care of normally. Oh. I'll do it. So this is a little dicey because he has buff now. He's dangerous, and I'm not going to kill him in 1 hit. So he might get an attack off. No. Okay. I was a little worried, but it turned out to be not a problem at all. And we get the Tonitrus, which immediately I'm putting on. This I'm not immediately putting on. I need 12 strength. I am gonna go home and get 12 strength after I unlock one more shortcut. But the Tonitrus is amazing. There's 3 kinds of weapon damage that I care about as an Arcane user. There's Arcane damage, which is straightforward, and useful against any enemy that looks like they're an extra from Scream, as the villain, I should say. And fire damage is good against beasts, and bolt damage is good against more alien-looking guys. And we'll see more of those as the game goes on. But the Tonitrus, very specifically, is a lightning mace. So it's incredibly useful for what I want to do. It's I cannot... I'm going to be using it a lot. Alright, so we open the other shortcut, and we are off to the races. There's one more thing, actually, I can do here that I've just remembered. There's actually a boss, and I do have the setup for it, so yeah, I will go do it. I'm going to upgrade, spend all my stuff, of course. We are going to get 2 strength here. Yeah, so that's what we need. And then the rest goes in Arcane. Perfect. 31 Arcane, 12 strength. That's good. And since she's the doll, if you remember, we went to that kind of secret area. We saw the doll, and we got a small hair ornament. We can give this to her.
What is this? I can't remember. Not a thing, only I feel a yearning, something I never felt before. What's happening to me? Tell me, Hunter. Could this be joy?
Well, that's kind of sad. And also, we bottled her tear in a little vial, and I'm gonna smash it. Thanks. We get a blood gem out of it. We can stick that in our weapons now. Oh, I want to get a couple more cold bloods or blood echoes so I can upgrade my Tonitrus. Let's see. There it is. Yes. 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 And actually, since we have 8 bloodstone shards here, or twin bloodstone shards, I'm going to keep going. Well, let me think about this. Rosen Maiden who? Yes, the doll talks. I've you know, been smashing through pretty much every, you know, dialogue option so far, but she has stuff to say. I'll go back and talk to her in a second. But yeah, let's do this. Let's see. Repair my stuff. It's not super necessary now, but may become relevant later. And we want to stick some gems in here. So we're not going to be using our saw spear anymore. Not for a while, at least. And let's stick all our best gems in this thing. And there's not a whole lot of them, so, you know, whatever. And yeah. And here, if the tier, what it does, the tier blood gem, it constantly recovers, like, heals us, basically. Not enough to really matter unless you just like sit there and just like go AFK for a while. But you know, it's an option. Okay, back to doll clothes. And she doesn't say anything about that. They're just clothes. She doesn't care. But yeah, the doll talks.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire?
Look at how fucking tall she is.
Over time, countless hunters have visited this stream. The graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long ago now.
So I'll give that in bits.
Hunter, may you find your worth in the waking world.
But yeah, she talks. She gives a little bit of perspective. She might be talking about these graves, but I really think she's probably talking about just give me a second. Those graves. You can see a lot of fucking graves in the backgrounds. And when she said countless hunters, I mean, you could count them all, but I'm not gonna. I think there are a couple other graves in other places, but there's a lot of gravestones around here. Anyway, where am I going? Oh, right. We want to go to the Hypogean jail. There's a little bit of a space I did not explore. where those two witches kind of try to ambush you that I mentioned before, and I'm basically going to run by them. I don't have any business with them. I have business with the guy behind them, and we'll see if I can pull this off in one hit, or in one try. I want to keep my death count as low as I can after all. I'm just going to ignore him. I don't have any business with him. While I'm going down, I'm going to change some things. Oops, I didn't actually set the item. That should be okay. So yeah, you can see that going on. Oh! Get out of here. There she is. The jig's up. That's her grab attack, and she will mess you up real fast. Item? Just pebbles. Alright. And more pebbles. Their rare drop is fairly rare, so I'm not really too stressed out over it. And it's not necessary. There are these guys. Oh! Crap. Don't block me out, don't block me out. Okay. Okay, we're good. Alright, we're good. That might have killed me, but it didn't. So, you know, we're fine. Okay. So we are over here. Little pocket. Little corner over here. And you can see that, one, this looks like a boss area, and it is. And there's a laying down mass of something kind of right above my torch. And we're going to go kill that thing. So I made sure to upgrade or get 5 extra blood vials, and I have my flame sprayer that's +4, just kind of, you know, running a check. And while I'm here, while I remember, I'm going to take off the doll clothes because they, like you can see, their defense is terrible in comparison. So let's get something with good. Oh, maybe Gascoigne's garb is the best. Maybe not. Yarn of Hunter. I'm gonna look a little messy here, but you know, a little bit of clown suiting, but that's okay. The goal is survival. There we go. A little messy, but it gets the job done. So, like I mentioned before, I have a bunch of fire stuff. Excuse me. We have a lightning enemy. But he is a beast, and beasts hate fire, so we're going to handle this in a very fire-efficient way. Nope. He's also very tall and lanky, so despite, you know, all this fur and stuff, it's just for looks. I'm not confident dodging that. Let's get out. That big AoE is nasty. Don't mess with that. Although it's scary and he's hard to tell like what the hell he's doing even. If you can get under him, it makes a big difference. And if you knock him down, you can see my damage has gone up significantly. He's also like trying to get away from me, but he's doing a real bad job of it. I'm just kicking his ass right now. Alright, that's enough for now. He lights back up. But let's see if we can knock him down right away. Alright, now he's mad, but that's okay. Because he's down. I'm running low on bullets, which is a concern. Ow. I'm gonna heal twice. My lamp is kind of blocking my sunlight, or my UI. Oh no! I'm out of bullets. Woo! Ow, ow, ow. Might die. Not dead yet. I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm still alive, so it's okay. There we go. Alright, stay on the floor this time, please. Doing a lot of damage here. That's not enough. I'm playing aggressive, which is okay. Get down. Woo! Ow. Ow! It's tense. There we go. He's down. Woo! Oh. Well, we got in one. Not bad. So we get a lantern, the boss for the area is taken care of, and we can open this door. And this door is important for one thing, basically. And you'll see where we are in a second, but, well, we're in Old Yarnum. There it is. It was about 1 second. I was right. Bring out the torch for some visibility. And it's these guys. Give me a bloodstone shard. Thank you. So those are the guys I was killing to, you know, farm some bloodstone shards. Oh no! Don't kill me, please. There we go. But yeah, we're back for a very specific reason. If you remember the machine gun guy, we never dealt with him. His name's Jura, and he doesn't see us coming because we came from the backside, and because we came from the backside, he's got a new perspective on us, I guess. If we came from Old Yarnum, we didn't see him coming. That we must be more attuned to beasts than he is, or something. His reasoning's a little strange. So we're gonna climb up to that clock tower, his sniping position, and we're gonna see what he has to say. I also do this because, I mean, if you just fight him normally, he's pretty tough. And, I mean, I've got a death counter. I gotta keep that thing low. Hey, man. So he doesn't run up and start, you know, taunting you and hitting you right away. You can talk to him.
Well, how did you get in here? It's no matter. What brings you to Old Yarnum? I've no interest in matters further up. But you must not disturb this place. Beasts do not venture above and mean no harm to anyone. If you still insist on hunting them, then I will hunt you first. You understand me?
And we get a prompt. And I'm gonna just choose this one because
yes,
I did all this work.
I no longer dream, but I was once a hunter too. There's nothing more horrific than a hunt. In case you fail to realize, the things you hunt, they're not beasts. They're people. One day you will see. It's time you got going. But first, a farewell gift. I have no use for it anyway.
Thank you. And double thank you. Alright.
What is it? Surely I need not repeat myself. Go, I say. You have the whole night to dream. Make the best of it.
Make the best of it. I like how he delivers that line. Anyway, we've handled basically everything now. There's nothing else to do. We talked to him. We've made peace with the beasts of Old Yarnum. And why does everyone speak in echoes in this game? That might be because my TV is coming through my microphone. So I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. Hopefully that kind of reduces it a little bit. I'm going to say that was probably my sound setup. That's definitely the culprit. Anyway, he told us some information that, you know, we're pretty reasonably certain of. You know, like, oh, they were human, don't kill them. Whether they become normal people again after the night of the hunt's over, well, that's a different question. I don't think so. You know, I think they're just like, oh, we're just fucked now. But whatever. It's all good. Let's get the doll clothes on. Get that Rosen Maiden cosplay going. Hit this guy. And I don't think there's anything else to upgrade. Yeah, we're set for now. Okay, it's time for the next area. Oh, actually, I have a lot of insight, and that's dangerous. So let's see. Okay, there's nothing to buy here. There's two shops. This is the regular shop down here. Spend blood echoes, and the upper shop is for insight, which are eyes on the inside of your brain. If you close an eye, you get to buy stuff. Yeah, you know, shop. Trade buckets of blood for stuff. It's great. So before I got the from in that tower at the top of the tower, we got the Radiance Hunter Charm, and that allows us to get the Ludwig's Holy Blade. This is a really good weapon. I may use it. We'll see. Tonitrus is the one I will be using. Stake Driver is interesting, and that's the weapon we got from that guy. But I don't think we'll be using it either. Yeah, no, we won't. It's not that great for my kind of build, let's say. So we get a hand lantern, which is cool because I don't need to. Oh, let's just put it on. Maybe I had one on it already. Whatever. Things are a little brighter now all the time, which is nice because there are, like I mentioned before, some dark areas. And that takes care of that. Okay, so we are going to actually go back to the Cathedral Ward. We're gonna go say hi to the beggar guy, see what he thinks about the nurse showing up, and go talk to the nun, I should say, and go talk to the nun too. What else has been going on? I mean, I'm just going to be talking to some people, so I guess I should let them speak, but I think something that would be a good idea, this is kind of a meta thing to talk about, but like have stories or anecdotes for streams, I guess. Maybe that's better for like if there's something that's kind of, well, I'll leave it till after.
So that holy woman, you told her about this place, right? Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still, I'd rather see her alive anyhow. If you find any saint survivors, well, send them along to Erden Chapel, will ya?
He doesn't have much to say. Yeah, very blobby. Extremely blobby. But you know what? She's nice. She sets up, you know, incense and stuff. Appreciate it. And we can talk to the nun, who just sits here.
Oh, brave hunter, you're alive. Thank you very much.
No problem.
The town is in disarray, but there are still people here. Together we await the help of the healing church. I cannot begin to express my gratitude to you. The only thing that I can offer is my own lowly blood, if it would suffice.
So that's a little weird, but around here, that's actually pretty normal. Just, hey, you want my blood? Oh, well, okay. There are specific people with, you know, a pedigree. I'm sure they've got a certificate up in their office wall that says, yeah, we got nice blood, you know, and I am authorized to give some nice blood.
Coming close. Now. Take my blood.
They definitely, there's like definitely kind of like an intimate thing that goes on there too. So we have the blood of Adelia, which is a little different from the blood of Iosefka. This one just is a better blood vial. This one, I mean, they're all better blood vials, but you know, this heals the regular amount and then continues to heal. And when you use it, because you can only get one at a time, you can you know, talk to her again and get more blood, which I might do. We'll see. Let's see what's next. Oh, we want to go up in the tower again. Yes. No, we did this. I've done all that. We want to go up here because I unlocked the shortcut. That's the whole point. Run past everything. Because in games like these, it's you either kill everything or you just run past everything. And in this case, since I've killed everything already, there's really not a whole lot of point in, you know, going back over and over and over, and unless I'm farming something. So I'm just going to be running past most stuff. And there are going to be people that are mad at me, and you're like, hey, stop there, stop, criminal. But I don't mind. I don't even mind that I did not pick that up. We're going to go this way. Aha! We have another bloodsucker. Oh. He has a grab attack too. But if we hit him with a thrust attack, he takes a ton of damage. And down here we have some more upgrade materials, which is nice. I think that I can make the +5 Tonitrus now, so I can have a pretty fucking strong weapon at this point. Over here, oh, this is the wrong direction. This is towards Bergenworth, or the Forbidden Forest, I guess. And I was kind of expecting an NPC to show up there, but he doesn't show up yet. It is important to talk to him when he does show up for his quest line, but again, eventually. Some knowledge. Don't mind me. These guys are big, but very slow, so I'm not too worried about it. Unlock this thingy. I could go down this way, but there's not a whole lot of point. I can get like some binoculars, I guess. This guy always catches me off guard, and I need to lock on because he's slipping around, or I'm slipping around him, I should say. Fool me this time, Crow. Got me some cold blood, and down we go. We have more NPCs to rescue. Not quite at 3 hits to kill. Well, a couple more points in Arcane will fix that right up. Okay, we are down in the streets of Yharnam, and there are a couple of people we want to talk to. So, what's up?
Oh, my, what a queer scent. I'll take it over the stench of blood and beasts any day. What is it then? I'm off during hunts, and besides, this is no place for ladies. Wouldn't want to drag you down too.
So we are talking to a prostitute.
Oh, thank goodness. You're a
She's nice
hunter,
though. I shouldn't say though. She's nice.
you're a safe place. The night was long and very little of the incense left. Please, there must be some nice place to warm up to.
Alright, once again we have an option here, and I'm just going to choose Whedon Chapel again, because we want to rescue her.
Perhaps I'll see you there.
Oh, she's so expectant. Alright, so we've handled her, we've rescued her, and let's talk to this guy.
You! You're not from around here, are you? Or an outsider who's come to join the hunt? What a pathetic idea. You what? What, you think I'm a beast? Well, maybe I think you're a beast.
He's got me there.
My car's on.
I mean, I got cat ears.
Enough of you. What, you think this is funny? Well, I certainly don't, so be gone with you. I'll have nothing to do with your beast stunts. What's this two-bit nonsense?
So if we're persistent,
I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well, she's a damn fool to trust an outsider. You know why? Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your boys. Alright. What craft do you
There
like
it
the
is.
outsider have today?
we can rescue him too.
Think I'm an easy mark. Yeah? Well, give me your best shot.
What are they doing there all night? That's a good question. I guess, you know, on a night like this, they just put out a bunch of incense and hope they don't get sick. Well, I guess that's pretty much how I'm living right now, except for the incense part. But so this is the reason why we want the Iosefka clinic, because he goes to the opposite one we say. So we want to save him, so we tell him to go get fucked, basically.
Yeah, sorry. Too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders. Even their lies are predictable.
Well, despite him being a huge prick, we have saved him. And let's work our way up. There are a couple things that are useful here. Everyone else we can talk to around here is just crazy, so they've kind of started to lose their minds a little more than others. So we're not gonna bother, basically. Ow! Okay, I'm getting shot too. Let's back up a little bit. Ooh. So that is one downside of the cane, because it's such a small weapon. It has almost no knockback, and that guy has a little bit too much low center of mass, let's say, to get knocked over by us when we're swinging our weapons. Actually, let's just see what these guys have to say. Have you ever had wide gratitude for something? I don't think I have, but they have. Anyway, so everybody down here is very indebted to the church. They love the church so much. Thank you, church. You're so good.
Right here, right out there, church. The best of our country. Best rock and roll.
So yeah, they're going a little stir crazy, but I mean, they're wusses about it too. I mean, this is just what, one night? Pfft. That's nothing. Alright. So there's a couple enemies around here. Ow! Don't do that. There's some behind me, which I'm worried about. They're not going to do anything to me. Okay. It's pebble time. Yeah. Get over here. I'm probably being a little overly cautious with these three, but just in case. Not bad. I don't know what happened there. Like the shine on the ground really reflected on him real well. Alright. Get over here. And taken care of. The other thing that's really nice about the whip is the fact that you do bonus damage if you counter hit. And the whip is long enough range to where, like, if you kind of start an attack and enemies get in your enemies are in your range, they'll typically try to attack you and get interrupted by you swinging your whip. Not everyone, but they'll definitely you'll get counter hits, and so you build even more damage on top of everything. And yes, my lady does look very classy. She kicks ass, and she's going to continue to kick ass. There's a lot of ass to kick. I'm not even all that splattered with blood or anything, you know. Okay, well, maybe not. Looking a little grisly, but it's fine. I'm okay. So we're gonna go, let's see. I want to go to, let me check my notes, because there's quite a few things to do, and I don't want to really miss anything. Excuse me. We're gonna go to Hemwick, Charnel Lane, which is not necessary right away. But, well, I think actually nothing really changes if I do this now or after Vicar. Let's go kill Vicar. So this is required for progression. We have to take out a very special someone. These guys are really mean, and they have some very, very fast-hitting attacks, so I'm not going to mess with them. I'm just going to run past. Okay. I am going to, once again, because it's boss time, I'm going to change out of my my doll clothes, my presentable look, and dress up for a fight. There we go. Let's take a look at our setup, just to make sure I've got everything I need. Nah, I don't need any of that. As it turns out, the only thing I need is bullets. And, well, my whip. These two will do just fine. This is a cool chapel, although not having any pews kind of freaks me out. this is actually what happens to you if you become a furry. The moment you realize, it just takes over. Oh, she looks nice. Alright. Vicar Amelia. Oh. I'll do that. There's one break. There's two breaks. So, if you've played this game before, this fight goes a little bit different. Or, like, if you know how to play this game, this fight goes a little bit different. You kind of just understand how this goes. But Vicar Amelia is not going to get a chance to do much of anything. Now, let's not play stupid. And down. She's very weak to fire, as you can see. I did not touch Fluffy Tail. I incinerated Fluffy Tail. And she gave us that gold pendant that she was coveting. That's important. We want that. We're going to smash it. And we get a gold blood gem. This is really, really, really useful. And I will be putting it on like right away. But I need to go home to do that. So back home we go. She doesn't start crazy flammable, but she gets very, 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 very flammable after you knock down a limb or two. Once you break a bone or four, and maybe her face also, it gets real nasty real fast. Okay, so I didn't have a gem in my second blood imprint slot because there was really nothing for it. But with this gold blood gem, I can do 12.6% more damage versus beasts. This is great because the threaded canes are doing fire damage, which is does bonus damage versus some beasts. The cane version is serrated, so that does bonus damage versus beasts. And because of those that new gem we got, I do even more damage versus beasts. So this cane fucks shit up real good, and we're gonna be abusing that fact. But despite all the bonuses that it's getting, oh man, I'm one bloodstone short of upgrading that particular thing. Let's see, can I buy anything new? Nope. How about here? Is there anything I even want? You can upgrade, you get access to this particular armor set by going in Chalice Dungeons, but and I think it actually looks pretty cool, but I'm wearing the doll clothes. For a long while anyway. A couple more levels of Arcane. And buy a couple blood vials. There. Very nice. Okay. Now, that unlocked the Grand Cathedral. That's where we fought her. But we do want to go back to the Cathedral Ward. Because, well, one, there are NPCs that we rescued. We want to see how they're doing. But also, there's an NPC quest line that we want to proceed. Which is useful, too, because we get a nice armor set for it. And that fight, or the NPC quest line, there's a fight associated with it that's a little tricky. So I hope it goes well. Fingers crossed. Alright. So here's the quote-unquote wench.
Oh, hello, dear. You weren't lying. This is a safe place.
Sure is.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
And we get curtsy.
I'd like to tender my thanks, but I can't imagine what to offer. All I can give is my blood.
So you can see right under my items,
Would you even take
the nurse, or the nun in the back there, she's actually a little yandere, let's say. She's not happy that we're talking to this lady, the quote-unquote wench, who also gives blood, because giving blood is better than sex, apparently. We can't, if I actually click receive blood treatment, I can't, because I have the nun's blood. And you can see, again, the nun is in the back, and nothing's really going on with her. And once I stop talking to her, she calms down. But if I talk to her again, immediately she turns around and is like, what is going on over there? She's not very, the nun's not very nice.
You've had a change.
We're gonna refuse.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry I asked too many questions. I'm very thankful for what you've done.
And she gets a little miffed because we refused, but that's okay. We can't get any blood anyway. Hey, buddy.
Hunter, alive and well at that. Another one you sent made it here safe and sound. This place is a haven now for so many. Thanks to you.
Thumbs up, buddy.
Overjoyed, really? That you'd even give me the time of day. I don't suppose there's anybody out there worth saving anymore. But you did all you could. And so many owe you so much. Amazing, really. Not because you're a hunter, but because you're you.
I'm just a pal, just trying to help.
Once dawn breaks, maybe I can just, start over. Makes it easier to bear all of this, you see. You've made life easier. Thank you.
That's nice of them to say. Well, because we rescued both at the same time, and there's the old man over there, we only get one of the beggar's lines, but that's okay. This guy is a little special. Okay, we're gonna look at him from both sides. You can kind of see his face. He's a little warped looking, you know? Very stinky. You can just see it, especially this side.
You, the swindling off-comer. Did you really think that'd work? No fooling me.
Oh, they do echo.
Now,
No, that is part of the game. That's not my TV.
go away. I can't stand the stench of your lying breath.
He doesn't have much to say to us, as you might expect, because he's a dick. But because I killed Vicar Amelia and the moon is now out, there's some different dialogue from various NPCs. Or maybe not. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, this is hidden, but hey, it's Aileen again.
Oh, hello there. Perfect timing. I must warn you not to go near the tomb below Erdon Chapel in the Cathedral Ward. Henrik, an old hunter, has gone mad. And he's my mark.
So, we get some insight into what her job is, and spoiler alert, she kills crazy hunters. That's her job, and she's pretty good at it. But this next one is, we're gonna help her out. So if we actually go home and try to warp to the lantern that the fight is at, the one that I'm headed to right now, which is very close by, fortunately, we can't. It says it's not safe or something until we handle this, or until the night progresses and this fight is no longer available. The first time I do this, I actually want to switch off of Flame Sprayer because that's AoE damage, and you'll see why. I have a little bit of time before Aileen shows up because, I mean, it's her mark, right? She's working on it, but I'm a little worried about him. See, as you can see, I do not do... Ow. Don't hurt me. He's very mean. He does a lot of damage. I don't have a lot of life, so I'm playing it safe. And Aileen drops in and is fighting also, but we're not on the same side. I hurt her too. So I have to be very careful about what I'm doing. And she's got a lot of life. Whew. It's about half. It's actually... Oh! Stay away, stay away. She can die here, which is very scary. I don't want that to happen. Oh, thank God. Is she mad?
That wasn't necessary of you.
Oh, thank
You
God.
had my thanks. We made it with our lives. You're not bad at all. You must have killed Gascoigne as well.
I sure did.
He was falling apart. I'm sure it had to be done. But try to keep your hands clean.
I love her accent.
A hunter should hunt beasts.
Should hunt beasts.
Leave the hunting of hunters to me.
It's definitely not pleasant work. And she's happy with the job we did. So we get approval. She's so happy. We're following in her footsteps. Alright. So that was Henrik. And that advances Alien's questline, which is good. Because, well, I mean, again, questlines aren't very long. There's one more thing to do with her. I kind of wish they were longer. That'd be nice. Because these characters are pretty interesting. And, like, all the things that go on with them, well, there's not a whole lot we can divine. Because there's so little to go off of. But, you know, just appreciate what we have, I think. That's how I approach it. That wasn't really necessary. Let's see. Let's go back to the Grand Cathedral, where we killed Fluffy Tail. And I think this next area, Hemwick Charnel Lane, is the last one I'll do. I think that would make for a good stopping point. Not a whole lot of meaty stuff that I'm going through. I was actually kind of expecting to be able to go through Forbidden Forest also. But I think that area is probably gonna be its own stream, maybe a little bit afterwards, maybe a little bit on top of that, because that's a big area. But this next area, I don't think will take crazy long, but well, we'll see. So this side area is optional, but I definitely recommend it because all those runes we've been picking up, like moon and air and like formless Whedon and things like that. Oh, and beast. We can make use of those if we go and beat the boss in this area. We get Bloodshot Eyeball, which is what those witches were carving out of people. I guess they forgot one. And there's a little bit of a ways before we get the lantern for this area. And sometimes things can go bad in this particular spot. Oh, do I have to sneeze? No, I do not have to sneeze. Great. Okay. Over here. So these dogs are messed up. They got like a bunch of spikes in them and stuff. I don't know. They like have metal embedded in their paws. They're living a rough life. But they're not the real threat here. It's actually the guy I just killed. Well, I mean, he's not the only one. There's a bunch of guys with guns around here, and a lot of them can start shooting at you at the same time. So, want to be careful about how I approach this. And how I approach this is by swinging through a tree. At least for that guy. So yeah, I kind of like loop around the back and just handle these threats one by one. Because if you're surrounded by gunshots, it's tough to deal with. I mean, who would have thought? There's two here. There's some more shots. Oh, he brought out his sword. It does feel good to be out of the city, you know? It's kind of refreshing. Get some crisp, nice, you know, probably fall air. Get some nature. And probably a lot of gunpowder smell, actually, which might ruin some things. So there's 3 here, which is a little dicey, but if you take out... that's where the whip comes in handy. Take them out, and I get access to all this delicious loot. And a lot of bullets, which is great, because although I will be using bullets, I'm going to be turning them into fire instead of gun rounds. And later some other things, which we will see later. Ow! I was really hoping I would one-shot all that stuff. Ugh. Okay. Briefly worried, because the 2 dogs at once is always the bane of my existence. Well, in these games, I mean. And, well, we didn't have to deal with that. Okay. That was the area I was a little concerned about, and we're through. So while we are out of the city, we kind of entered a bit of a town. Definitely more on the town side than gigantic Gothic architecture. These places are more on the terracotta side. With a lot of just very entertained women. You know, they're just having a great time. They're partying, they're dancing. Ow. And they've all just got red hot pokers and stuff. Oh well, no problem. Taken care of. Grab an item. And hey, we can talk to somebody.
Do you hear the graveyard murmurs? Then it's almost time. Oh, I can't wait. I just can't wait.
I do not remember that one. The line delivery in this game is well done. That was spooky. Yeah, and all just the backdrop of, you know, like people laughing and kind of shrieking every once in a while makes for an interesting setting. Come on, dog. Just want to deal with one threat at a time. Come here. You serious? Ow. Okay. Gonna just top off. This area is a little dangerous because that lady threw us Molotovs. But also behind her is a lady with a hammer. So we want to kill this one fast. And yeah, there we go. And hammer lady did not get a chance to hit me. There's also a fire poker lady. There's lots going on. But none of it's my problem anymore. Okay, I still have my gun out. That's perfect. Yeah, this game, I mean, because of the setting and like how... I mean, let's face it. Miyazaki is a huge Westaboo. And that comes out real well through, I mean, Dark Souls, first of all, but also, you know, like this game. First you have this kind of like, this feudal medieval setting, and then you have a Victorian England setting. That's it's pretty Westaboo. That's a lot of time and money invested in that kind of thing. But hey, it worked out. He's a renowned, they're FromSoft's a renowned company. And they've sold a lot of copies. It was nice to like see their take on an Eastern setting with Sekiro. I'm not sure how well Sekiro did in comparison to, you know, like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, but I'm not sure if it was well enough to the point where they didn't want to do DLC, because I know there was either no plans to do DLC for Sekiro, which I was really expecting they were going to do, because they did it with basically every other action game they've done, or like this anyway. So that threw me off, but that's okay. Sekiro actually has a lot of content, and I've only played through it once, but there's like 4 or 5 different endings that all have pretty esoteric ways of like handling them. A regular rawhide Kobayashi. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are familiar with like that like Ken-sama copy pasta. And like there's maybe I'm not sure what the kind of like the Westaboo version of that was. The guy that like, yeah, I ride the bus while wearing my cowboy hat and with my sheriff's star and stuff. Did he call himself a rawhide Kobayashi? I've like completely forgotten what he actually calls himself. I guess that's a pretty specific piece of internet culture though. Or like, oh, don't hit me. That was close. This lady throws Molotovs. And coupled with like this big guy is like lumbering towards you on this thin bridge where you can definitely fall, and he's about to. See you, buddy. That's a dangerous spot. But if you're good at parrying, it's not so bad. Ah, gotcha. Rawhide Kobayashi. I mean, that does sound... That's some king shit. Okay. Now, I think this upcoming area is the first time where we see... Oh, no, the second time where we see another difference by having a buttload of insight. I have 29, which I believe means I get some special enemies that show up in this area. No? Oh. Maybe it's based on progression too. But if you... I was under the impression that if you had a bunch of insight and you had fought Vicar Amelia already, crow enemies would start spawning out of the ground. And they're a little tougher than the rest of the enemies here. And, you know, there's something to watch out for, to say the least. But I guess not. Well, no problem. Just hanging out up here, having a good time. Yeah, but okay, look. They've got a blunderbuss. I'm not sure if you can see it. No, I guess not. Yeah, it's kind of in their lap here. That thing hurts a lot. They pretty much just fire a gigantic like 5-inch slug right into your chest. Well, I've done a bunch of terrible things already, you know. Beasts are people, and I'm killing a lot of beasts. So I'm not a good person. Even if I made that beggar happy and I rescued, you know, everyone and I gave, you know, them hope, I'm a gray figure, let's say. Perception is mixed. Alright. That guy's real mad even though he didn't aggro on me. Oh, there we go. Okay. One thread at a time, please. Oh, that's not my gun. That's my gun. Ow! Oh, she hits fast. Her scoop attack got me real quick. Oh! I thought he was right around the corner, not over there. Okay. Okay, we're still alive. We're still good. Everything's just fine. She falls down. That's not a big deal. So if you just walk through this door, this lady gets you. She's very crafty. She gets a lot of people on their first run through this area, and she's not very nice. Oh, this is the perfect chance to show off my special new weapon. It's been sitting in storage for a long time, but it's time to debut. Okay, so 72 damage is how much damage I do with my fire weapon. I do 230, I almost do 300 damage with one swing of my lightning mace. Poke, poke. He only took 89 that first hit because he was blocking with his axe. But rest assured, these enemies die very, very, very fast to bolt damage. And especially if you have a lot of it. Okay, so let's do this. This is a shortcut in case I die. I have 20,000 blood echoes, but you know what? That's fine. I can handle it. Just a couple more threats before the boss, and let's clear those out. Nice. I want to grab this stuff quick because there's a trio of ladies that are gonna greet me, and I want to make sure I handle them carefully. Usually there's 3. Here's where the whip's range comes in handy. Ow. Okay, not big ow, just small ow. There we go. Not bad. Yeah, they're big boys, but I cut them down to size real fast. Alright, there's a little bit of a secret here. See this this broken down like ceiling? You can't really see a whole lot in it, but if you grab this, there we go. Okay, I guess if you break some barrels, this guy pops out, and you get some more treasure. Okay, this next area. This one's a little interesting. This is halfway a puzzle boss, I guess. But let's actually bring out my flame sprayer. Okay. And just in case... No, there's really no getting me out of any danger. I'll just put that on because I might as well put it on. There's no reason for me not to. Alright, let's test something. Okay, 100. 106. Okay. So fire is the way to go for this area. And we are fighting the Witch of Hemwick. The Witch of Hemwick is partially invisible. Her invisibility goes away when you are close to her. But there she is. And she casts a couple of spells. And you can see, I'm hitting her and doing damage, etc. But she goes away. And we can see... Oops. Crap. I was obscured by the background there. But if you have time, I should say, to look for where she pops in, she is briefly visible again. And she consistently spawns in crow enemies. But there's a secret to this fight. And a lot of it is just spent running around looking for where the hell she is. And either avoiding or clearing out these crow guys. And I might as well clear them out because... Oops. Ow! Okay, but actually, where did she go? Hello? There! Okay. Great. I didn't see her pop in, so she's right next to me. Nice. Again? There she is. So she's summoning a crow now. And I'm bullying the shit out of her. But I'm going to stop, or I'm going to be a little more careful about it, because that's not her. That's another one. There are 2 witches. And when you kill the first one, the other one becomes, pops in, becomes like apparent, or visible. Oh, did she pop in over here? But they resurrect each other. So you want to be real careful about who you kill and when. I'm hoping she pops in over here. Nope, so this is the first one. And I'm just gonna keep her relatively alive because I want to kill them both at around the same time. Because when one dies, they get a grab attack that's really hard to avoid, unfortunately. Shit, no, I don't want to actually kill her too much. Where's the other one? Nice. Whoa! Leave me alone. Ow. So the crow issue gets real bad if you just kind of let it develop, which I am. 2 isn't so bad, but I have very little life, so I do want to be careful. But like it can go up to like 5, and 5 is bad. And I hope I've done enough damage to the point where she's real close to dead. But we'll see. She popped in the middle. Let's run. If you leave her alone for too long, I think it's for like a minute or so, that she resurrects the second one. And but it's not a problem. Woo! It's pretty fun actually to play with such little vitality because it's thrilling. And I went in there with a bunch of resources, you know, a bunch of blood echoes. I was running a bit of a risk, but I fucked them up real good, so no problem. And we get the Rune Workshop tool, and notably we get it from this guy, who's a hunter, and he's like been tied up, and there's like some blood underneath him, and I think if we look carefully you can see that he doesn't have eyes anymore. Oh, well, I think he's just a mummy, but he's probably been here for a little too long to have eyes anymore anyway. But they tortured the shit out of him. I'm not sure what exactly they're grabbing from him, but I'm not sure exactly where he hid his rune extractor, but I'm glad he was able to give it to us. This game does, visually this game is fantastic. Because it's a little intense for the PS4, I'd say, like hardware-wise, there are some areas with some slowdown, but like other than that, this game's amazing. I love this game. But oh yeah, let me show off what we just got, and I'll be winding down the stream after this because yeah, an hour and 48 minutes. I think that's a nice amount of time for episode 2, I guess. So we have a bunch of Carol runes, and with Carol runes we can just equip them basically, and they give us various kinds of things. This one is we can hold 21 blood vials instead of 20. This one's we get 24 bullets instead of 20. Visceral. This is V attacks, visceral attacks. So when we like parry someone and shove our hand up their rib cage and grab an organ and rip it out, if we kill them, we get more money basically. This one's just more money overall, and this one is more transforming if you go beastly, which is activated through a couple of different ways, but none of which really apply to my character, because if the higher arcane, or the more insight and the more arcane you are, the less likely you're going to be using weapons that make you beastly. So, not for me. Anyway, we're going to go with, no, not that one. Let's go with more money, more bullets, and why not another blood vial? That sounds good. And there's Oath Memory in the blue slot, but we don't have access to that yet, and that's okay. So, let's get a +6 Tonitrus. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's worth it. And with +6, we actually get access to this final slot. Unfortunately, this is a lightning weapon, and the only waning crest gem I have here is this fire, so it actually does nothing. So I guess I can stick this red blood gem, which fits in all slots, in there instead, and that's exactly what I'll do. Otherwise, nothing too special. So let's upgrade, and then I'll think up an outro on spot.
Welcome. Very well.
There we go. Lots of arcane. We're hitting 40 arcane is a lot. You don't have that much. You usually, obviously you don't have that much unless you really gun for it like I have. But I do a lot of damage, and those big numbers are only going to continue going up. Anyway, that's Bloodborne, episode 2. We did Hemwick. We killed Vicar Amelia. We advanced some quest lines. We saved some NPCs. We made one beggar very, very happy, and we got some nice weapons. Alright, I think that's all. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to quickly try to remember exactly how I had my overlay set up. Anyway, see you guys.